Yo, what up? It's your girl Joy, the Hip Hop Horrifying, and welcome to the rap session. So, I know it's been a while, but I've been traveling for leisure, traveling for work, and now I'm back, okay? I had to make sure I came to you for this particular transit because I am very excited about the things that Jupiter is doing. And so that is who we will focus on for this session. Now, Jupiter is touching base with Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus. Okay, we are going to have a trine, a conjunction, then a sextile. Okay, and it's all for the greater good. Okay, so we're going to touch bases. This will begin on July 20th. Okay, so make sure you are ready. And what is that? That's Monday. Okay, yes, I had to get that out for you guys so you can be ready, okay, for the upcoming week. Okay, and don't forget, Neptune and Pluto are currently retrograde. That is correct. That is correct. Neptune retrograde kind of snuck up on me because I looked, I was like, what in the world? I was like, okay, come on, Neptune girl. So let's get started. All right, here we go. As always, we are using the Astro Soul Oracle deck. Okay, so Jupiter in Leo will form a trine to Neptune, who is stationed retrograde in the sign of Aries. This aspect will peak on July 20th at 3:23 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, this contact will be happening at exactly 4 degrees, okay, and even down to the 22 minutes. Okay, Jupiter is not playing games. Jupiter is pulling up direct, pun intended. Okay, so let's kind of start off with Jupiter here. Okay, so we're going to be using different verbs and adjectives to discuss Jupiter so that you can, one, understand all that encompasses Jupiter, and to kind of paint a different picture of the placement. Okay, so Jupiter, generally speaking, is about religion, truth seeking, and philosophy. Okay, and so we are going to start off with this trine because a trine is there to enhance or make things better. Okay, and we love that since Jupiter is the planet of good luck and fortune. Okay, so we need all of that, okay, to do what we gotta do in the physical world. Okay, so Jupiter, let's get into it. Jupiter is all about faith, trust, hope, moral judgment, to conclude, to believe, exaggerate, expand, big, overdo, and to speculate. Okay. What exactly would you be speculating when it comes to Jupiter? We don't know. Speculating on the truth. Okay. That is all you need to know for now. That is essentially like the basics if we're going to speak generally. Okay. And so Leo, what does Leo have to offer? Okay. Self-esteem, approval, attention, admiration, enjoyment, self-expression. There's even some creativity in there. Okay, this is romance, playmates, kings, queens, heroes, stars. Okay, things are aligning. Okay, so here we are going to discuss a trine. A trine is a division of the zodiac wheel into 3 sections, so 120 degrees. So imagine a pie, but like with a peace sign. I mean, not a pie, but a full circle, but a peace sign, right? That's 3 sections at 120 degrees each. And so a trine between these 2 planets is all about big dreams. Okay? Very save the world, There is a level of freedom in your ability to escape. There is a bit of gullibility and vagueness here. And it is also the understanding that God is infinite. Okay? Everywhere, within everything. Okay? We all know it as what? Omnipresent. That is right. Okay? Because Pisces or Neptune archetype is the lack of boundaries. Okay? God, there is no boundaries for God, right? And so that's why God is infinite. And so also there is a level of compassion necessary here. Okay? And so Neptune, let's talk about the retrograde for a second. So retrograde, what does that really mean? It means you kind of get a second chance. You get a redo, a revisit, a review, think about that. Rewind, release, whatever you want to put there. Okay, required. Okay, so Neptune is about your intuition, your dreams, empathy, imagination, disguise, okay, to disappear, to escape, as well as a level of helplessness. Neptune archetype is known to just kind of submit and just let things happen the way that they are happening, even if that is not the way, okay, we want things to happen. So Aries, let's get into Aries. Opponent, explorer, adventurer, competitor, survival, life, autonomy, independence, freedom, and the like. Okay? So this is where I am the world, me, here, now. We're not waiting. We're taking things into our own hands because that is the only way to ensure that things get started or get done. Okay? Okay? So, let's make a story out of it, okay? Small story. So, Jupiter is all, let's pick one. We're talking like what? Enhancing, making things better, right? And so with Jupiter, that is our ability to seek the truth, to speculate over what is Neptune, what is a dream, what is real. Are we actually helpless, or can we reclaim our power, okay, to get things done? Is this my imagination, or is this really God telling me this? Like, is this a message from on high, or am I just high? Okay, am I inebriated? Am I sober? Like, what is going on? Okay, because sometimes with this aspect, the ability to escape or space out into the mystical or occult, okay, as they say, that can be a handicap, because when things get tough, you off in your own little world, because you're not grappling with the reality of the situation. Okay, you feel helpless, so you escape. Okay, you try to disguise yourself, because you don't want to address the essential proverbial elephant in the room. Okay, but Jupiter has come to a conclusion, regardless of how you empathize or forgive or what have you. Okay, the conclusion is that God is infinite, so you are not helpless. Okay, this is not your imagination. This is real. Okay, your imagination tends to exaggerate the reality of the situation. And so now you are facing the idea of, what was I going to say? Shoot. Overcorrecting. Okay? It's like, if I do this, I'm going to have to go 10 times as hard because I waited so long to take action. I was procrastinating. I was feeling helpless. I took the escape route. And so now you got to do twice as much just to come out even. Okay? So now we're going to switch and we're going to get with Pluto. Okay, so now we are here with Pluto in Aquarius. I'm trying to get this microphone wire together. Okay. Pluto is in Aquarius. Okay, all right. So Jupiter in Leo is forming a conjunction with Pluto, whom is retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. Now, this aspect or contact will happen on also July 20th at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, also in 4 degrees, but 26 minutes because obviously Jupiter has moved on. We are, several hours later. Okay, instead of the wee hours in the morning, now everybody at 10:45, most people are at work, generally speaking. Okay, so more Jupiter, Leo, more Jupiter references. So in this case, Jupiter, well, let's start with the conjunction. A conjunction is self-motivated, okay? And that is where the power comes from. Very potent energy here. Loving this, okay? So Jupiter in this case is purpose, justice. There's meaning, ethics, travel, advice or to advise, debate, and sell. Okay? Nobody wants to hear that. Okay? Then for Leo, we have proud, confident, warm, sunny, radiant, happy, vivacious, fun, magnetic. Okay, and of course, romantic, flattering, appreciative, all of the things. Okay, extroverted, optimistic. Okay, and so the conjunction between these two particular planets, this is the understanding that death for the greater good is honorable. Okay, I'm willing to sacrifice myself if it means humanity will essentially get what they deserve, need, desire, all the things. If it is a humanitarian effort, I will absolutely sacrifice myself for it. Okay? So anything is possible between these two planets. You can do anything that you put your mind to. As long as you're focused, dedicated, you can do whatever. Anything is possible. Big power. Okay? Also, hidden wealth. And also, this is Jupiter and Pluto, this contact is all about the avoidance of waste. And so what I mean is like recycling or upcycling. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Okay? We are not just throwing things in the trash. We're sifting through our, essentially our unconscious or our shadow self to pick those things that we don't like about ourselves and put those things to use. Okay? That is the focus. And so here, we're going to talk about Pluto. We've already talked about what the retrograde is, right? To reveal, right? To review, to redo, reinvigorate, reintegrate. Okay, whatever word you want to put there, it will work. So for Pluto, we have healing, power, integration, scheme and plot. Ludicrous number one spot. Scheme, plot. Okay? Corruption, manipulation to destroy or kill, to scare or alarm. Okay? And so Aquarius, this is perfect. Okay? There's enlightenment, awakening, breakthrough, reform, change, progress, liberation, emancipation, innovation. Okay? All of the things. Reform, rebel, revolution, free spirit. Okay? So, where are we going? Story time. Okay? What is, let me see. Meaning, purpose, advise, sell, debate. So, if anything is possible, as long as, you stay focused on the goal, that means there is big power in staying focused. That means there is somewhere a hidden wealth of knowledge within you. Drop the mic on that one. Okay? But what we are trying to do, I believe maybe with this contact, we have to integrate our hidden power for a purpose that is higher than ourselves. Okay, we got Leo. We got creativity, right? Aquarius is reform, revolution, of freedom, of that type of freedom, liberation. Jupiter is also freedom, right? Once you are able to integrate your, let's call them weaknesses, because that's what they say, generally speaking, like at a job interview or when you're at work or school. Oh, what are your strengths and weaknesses? So let's talk about weaknesses, because that's what they are interpreted as. You're going to take those weaknesses, right? Integrate them and use them. You're just not going to waste them. You just don't want to waste what you have all this time thought to be your weakness. Okay? You have to integrate that mentally. Like, these are things that I describe as a weakness for myself. These are things that I do not like about myself. But how can I use those attributes to my benefit? My power. These are your superpowers, essentially. Your weaknesses are your superpowers. This is your hidden wealth here. Okay? Okay? As long as you are morally, okay, on the side of right, using these things for a higher cause, okay, was right, was just. Purpose. There's purpose in everything that we do. So what would be the purpose or the significance of you cultivating these weaknesses and transforming them or reforming them into a superpower, a strength, essentially? Turning your weaknesses into strengths. That's all you're doing. Turning your weaknesses into strengths. Okay? That's all you're doing. You have to be self-motivated in order to do this. Okay? So now we're going to go into Jupiter and Uranus. Sextile. What is a sextile? It's when you divide the zodiac wheel up into 6. Okay, 60-degree sections. Okay, 60-degree sections. So A sextile between these two planets is all about arousing awareness. Okay, a sextile is mentally stimulating. It is an air aspect. And so we're going to start with Jupiter. Okay, in this case, Jupiter is all about truth, wisdom, prediction, prophecy, to teach or proclaim, as well as to infer or deduce. We're doing some higher level thinking here. Okay, higher learning. Okay, and so with the sextile, oh, Leo, my bad, almost forgot about Leo. Almost forgot about Leo. What is it? Don't talk about Bruno. Leo is not going to let you leave them out. I can tell you that right now. So with Leo, we have flashy, positive, flamboyant, directive, forceful, conceited, bombastic, boastful, party animal, playful, merry. Okay? Susceptible to flattery every single time. Okay? Arrogant. Okay? And so, what is this? The sextile. The sextile is all about radical ideas. Come on now. Radical ideas. Radical ideas. And so that is why a lot of times with the sextile, people will change their beliefs. Okay? There's a sudden stroke of luck, or you might suddenly go on a trip or some type of journey. And also, again, integration of faith and the truth in and of itself. Okay? So here for Uranus, we have change, radical insight, to disrupt or startle, to liberate or reveal, to advance or invent. Okay? That's why Uranus is, the planet of technology. That's literally when it was discovered, during the first age of what we call technology. Okay? And so let's move to Gemini. Gemini, we have data, language, okay? Busy, learned, quick, restless. We have simple, linear thinking, factual, as well as superficial, okay? Mental, cerebral, aware, curious, coordinated. I'm just going going down the list here. Verbal, chatty, pun-loving, versatile, adaptive, and flexible. I was about to start singing Shabba Ranks. My bad. Okay. So, what is the story here? What is the story, Joy? Well, your radical ideas can liberate, change, reveal. Okay? Through everything that you have learned or deduced. Okay? Now, it's like you're going on a sudden journey, or what they call down the rabbit hole. Okay, when you go down a rabbit hole, you are learning a lot of information in a small, quick amount of time. And so that usually gives you some type of radical insight. It changes you or causes you to change. And now you are more advanced, I guess some would like to say. Now, what you might learn might shock you. It might startle you, disrupt, your whole life. Like some people, when you learn the truth or gain some level of wisdom, oops, hold on, I got to pick these cards up. Didn't know two of them fell. Okay. When you learn something that is shocking, it has the tendency to kind of disrupt it's like cognitive dissonance. Okay? Is that what that is? Oh shoot, y'all done got me mixed up on the buzzwords that I learned in college, and so now I don't even know what the words mean anymore. So hold on, hold on. But it disrupts your way of thinking. Okay? It totally throws you off. Okay, yes, cognitive dissonance, psychological discomfort when you feel your actions contradict your beliefs or when you hold two fundamentally conflicting ideas. So you learn something that is anti or opposes all of your beliefs, your faith, the truth, or what you knew as the truth. That can be startling to some. Okay, it can cause anxiety, it can cause depression, it can cause a lot of other issues. Okay, and so I think we're on the story, right? Yes. So, what you learn, yes, it feels liberating. Like I learned some, you know, information, higher knowledge, morals. I learned about, what's right and what's wrong. And come to find out, I've been doing what's wrong this whole time. Like I didn't know I was playing on the wrong team. This is giving me political vibes. It's like some people finally gonna figure out the person they voted for ain't worth shit. Sorry for the cussing, but I had to on that one. But yeah. So now it's about integrating your faith with the truth. Because sometimes those two things don't necessarily go together. That's why when we were talking about Gemini, we talked about factual and shallow. Okay? You either gonna dive deep into this or you gonna keep it light, surface level. You ain't trying to go too deep because it will cause cognitive dissonance because you don't want to feel that discomfort. That's why people like living in a bubble. They like living a lie because it doesn't disrupt their way of life. 4, culture or freedom. Another 4 degrees. Did I mention this contact was going to be July 21st at 7:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, also in 4 degrees, but at 32 minutes as opposed to the 22 and 26 that we discussed before. Okay, 4 degrees in supreme mathematics. That's culture or freedom. That is your way of life. Okay, people live in the bubble of this, especially here in the U.S. We definitely live in a bubble. People live in a bubble because it doesn't disrupt their way of moving through the world. Okay, and sometimes the truth is too much for them to handle, so they would rather live in the lie. Okay, so now we're gonna bring it all together. So what is the big picture, pun intended? What is the overarching theme? Okay, what is the challenge here with these Jupiter making these contacts? Okay, I know it's a lot of cards, but we got to make it do what it do. As long as y'all can see the glyphs, that's all that matters. Okay, so up here, enhance, making things better. Okay, is it real? Is it not real? Oh, it's real. It's real. Okay, and we are going to make it easier for you to see how real it is. Okay, because we need you to come to the conclusion. We need you to find out, to know that this is not your imagination. This is not a dream. Follow your intuition, okay? Because God is your higher power, whatever you believe, your faith, okay, is everywhere all the time. God is good all the time and all the time, okay? Okay? So you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do. You can escape. You can space out. You don't have to do anything. You can continue to self-sabotage. That's all I'm going to say. You can continue to do that. You have free will. Okay? Because I can tell you, Pisces, Neptune retrograde, it's definitely going to make it easy for you to slip into, okay, your imagination or things of the occult, just to feel some type of helplessness. Because once you disappear, nobody can help you but you. And then you call yourself trying to save other people, you end up a victim yourself. Okay? Here, making the dream a reality. We're making the dream a reality. Okay? Because you're self-motivated. You have the potential. You have the power. Okay? Once you stop seeing your weaknesses as such, that is when the power, okay, and the meaning and the purpose and all of that kicks in. Okay? It's not a dream. You can make this dream up here a reality. It can come true as long as you believe. And not only yourself, but your faith. And then we come down here. Radical ideas, right? Radical ideas, sudden luck. You're going on a journey. You found something out. You learned something new. You learned the truth about yourself. Okay? I am reclaiming these weaknesses as strengths. I am now aware, okay, of how much I have changed. I am not who I used to be. Okay? And then all of a sudden, because of you making those dreams a reality, now your faith and your higher power, God, source, Allah, things are going to start working in your favor. You're going to find sudden luck. Okay? Things are just going to start working out for you. Okay? Okay? It might be a little startling, like, oh my gosh, everything I touch, Midas, gold, boom. But that's what it is. That's what it's about. Okay? That's the truth. That you are powerful beyond measure. You are powerful beyond belief. As long as you focus on yourself and your higher power. Do not take your eyes off the prize. Okay? I hope this was good. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.